Hello everyone and welcome to Max 9 tutorial number 33. Jit Ops number 2. Thank you, the rooster crowed. Today we're going to pick up where we were before. We were running a movie or two and running it through Jit Ops, if I recall correctly. And we were experimenting with some of these separate channels that you could run things through to get different effects with your videos. This being alpha, red, green, and blue, and this being the op that you're putting in place. Well, there is another option with op. It's funny how confusing that gets, but I'm going to show you that today. But I want you to keep in mind that this is an option that if you don't want to have a second movie, you would use. So we're going to stop this movie and move, oops, sorry. I forgot to unlock my patcher here. I'm going to move this over a little bit just to make the precise amount of room I need to copy this pack of things. And then I'm going to option click on them and put them up here. And then, clicking outside them, I'm going to thread this one down to the right-hand inlet, which is an exciting thing for us. We don't usually do that. And then what we're going to change in here, if you can imagine, if we send the prefix val for value, what this will do is substitute more or less a screen that has these certain values for the each level, what would you call it, plane of the screen. So we're actually just sort of doing a big substitution here. I just thought it'd be easier, and it might not be. So I'm going to delete these. It might not be easier doing my substitution method, but then again, maybe it is. So I'm going to type float, and then I'm going to option click on that, and then I'm going to grab them both and option click on that just because it's fun. And then I'm going to connect these up to my POC object so that if I change any one of them, all of them will change. However, what this thing is doing is preloading them as multiply, 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 multiply. And that is not going to work for a number coming in because it won't be able to understand what's going on. So we have to get inside this POC and put in I'm going to put in 1.0 because 1.0 is sort of standard. So 1 point space, 1 point space, 1 point space, 1 point. And then we have a new kind of POC. Now, to understand again what we're really doing is creating, using this value, a screen that has a sort of unified quality to it. So in other words, here, let's make all these the same so that, and not a pass here, because we don't want to do that, even though it is alpha. We can pass on the alpha. But for these, let's make it all multiply so that we understand exactly what's going on. So now we've got POC doing multiply on whatever's coming in here, and it was formerly ducks. Well, now we're going to go ahead and, lock my patcher, and I'm going to make this a 1. So now the 1 is being multiplied by this, and 1's going to be a kind of like a standard result that we're going to get here. So there's 1, 1, whoops, 2, shouldn't have done that, 1, and of course you can just enter the number 1 and then hit enter, and that'll be it. Okay, so now if this is red, we can turn the red we've made a screen right now, and it is completely white. It's full power alpha, full power red, full power green, and full power blue. We can turn red down by just scrolling down here. And as you turn red down, of course, it gets greener and bluer, which are the other two. Well, that makes sense. Okay, let's take it back up to about a 0.5, and then we'll bring green down. And so it gets more blue and more red. Purple, you know what I mean? And if we turn blue down, it's going to get more red and green, otherwise known in the world of light as yellow. So then it'll get more yellow the further down we turn it. And it does. So leaving it at sort of 0.5, which I can't seem to do, no matter how hard I try. There we go. Kind of grays the whole image out. And I suppose if we turn down the alpha, it will be, well, we'd have to change this to a multiply also. If we turn down this alpha, this one's alpha will be multiplied by that and therefore become more transparent, though I'm not sure how much that'll show. But there we go. Yeah, it doesn't really show. What if we added them together and then made it negative? How's that? It doesn't matter because we can... The problem is that there's nothing else here behind it, so it doesn't need to be all that alpha-ish. So alpha is kind of usually a bust in this particular scenario. But the other ones are quite interesting and allow you to do all sorts of things depending on what it is precisely that you're after. So we could say, oh, I want to go with a plus red. Now it's adding 1/2 to red. This has a red of some value, probably 1, where it's all mixed together, and now it's really busting the red all over the place. So if you're adding, this number sort of typically would be 0. And so if we get down to 0, it should be quote unquote, well, I thought it would be normal, but it isn't. Oh, that's probably because we have a lingering multiplication here. So you can see it gets quite and there we go, back to normal. So one of the things that we kind of know here is that resetting this thing is going to be a real bear. But we can make it nicely adjustable, I think, if we go ahead and unlock our patcher, put in a new slider, and let's just do these one at a time so that we stay within the realm of believable, the realm of easy at least. Let's make it float its output, and for most of these things we only need range. The minimum probably, I mean, we can have fun and we can say the minimum range is like -2.0. I don't know why I didn't get it. -2.0. There we go. And the range here would be 4.0. There we go. And that way 0 is going to be right in the middle, though I guess what we really want it's always hard to know whether we want 0 in the middle or 1 in the middle. With some of these, depends on whether you're multiplying or adding. But let's just go with this for the sliders. And then since this represents red, we'll go ahead and make it red. There we go. So now we have a nice slider that probably does mostly what we want. And we can duplicate it. And duplicate it again. Except this time we'll make it green. And this time we'll make it blue. And to set them back to 0 will require a 2. So we're going to just put a message up here with a 2. 0.0. And maybe we'll leave another message with a 3, since it's going to be a since we may want to be able to go to 1, right? I'm holding the shift key down to do this, but .0. There we go. So, bonk. That puts it at 0. That puts it at 1, which looks pretty similar to what we're used to there. So then you can come up with whatever settings you want down here. The reverse of modulo, that sounds interesting, why not? The greater than or equal to, sure, why not? And the, let's just say something else we don't know. Absolute difference is always fun. And now we can see what the effects are with those. And you can see pretty clearly, you can get, that's just moving the red slider a little bit. And green, oh, unlock your patcher and then remember to connect these sliders to this number. Otherwise, it doesn't make any difference at all. And you can say, oh, that's not making a difference all you want to. Okay, here we go. Whee! So we get a pretty fast way of making some pretty strong changes there. And yeah, that's really what I was aiming for. And I guess the last thing we'll do, just because I'm here, is put a new preset. Whoops, preset. There we go. Oh, sure, why not? We'll make it vertical. And I have to make it a little bit wider though, so I can actually trust that I'm getting that left-hand inlet. So we would go to this, 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 and also this, 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 and this. Whoops, I ended up with an extra, as I often do. Okay, and now I'm just going to make this go back to its other size. And lock our patcher and say, well, let's adjust it to something we like here. I kind of liked getting that red in there. Well, let's just say, there, that gives you a pretty high contrast image, and we'll just shift click on that. And then we'll change our settings a little bit to just plus, plus, and plus. Why not? Plus, plus, plus. So now we're just adding to white. So we're definitely going to want to turn these down quite a bit to get to where we want to go. Oh, what are you doing? I think my computer has frozen. Such things do happen when you're using an older one, like mine. But the there we go. And we'll save that. So since my computer's frozen, bonk, we'll call it an end of this video. I was going to end it here anyway, and I'll catch you in the next video after a nice, healthy restart. Patch well and remember to oil your computers. Thanks for watching.